Hello students, today we will study about the third unit, private and public sector. In the second unit we studied about the different form of the organization, sole proprietorship, partnership, joint stock company, cooperative society, joint Hindu family business. All those forms are related to private sector. Basically, what is the meaning of private sector? Private sector means which is owned, managed or controlled by individual or group of individual. And what is the meaning of public sector? Public sector means enterprises which is owned, managed or controlled by the government, whether state government or central government or both. So the main purpose of private sector unit is to earn profit, and the main purpose of public sector enterprises is social welfare. So the meaning again of private sector enterprises consists of business owned by individual or group of individuals. We studied about the different form of the organization in the second unit: sole proprietorship, joint Hindu family business, partnership, joint stock company. All those forms are example of private sector enterprises, and the main purpose of private sector enterprises is to earn more and more profit. And now, what is the meaning of public sector enterprises? The public sector enterprises are those enterprises which are owned, managed and controlled by the government, whether it's state government or central government or both the government. The main purpose of public sector enterprise is social welfare, public welfare. As you all know, Indian economy is mixed economy, so there is inclusion of both type of enterprises: public sector enterprises or private sector enterprises. Private sector enterprises example like Reliance, Infosys, Wipro, HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank. All these are example of private sector enterprises. Or public sector enterprises like Indian Railway, GAIL, BAIL, ONGC. All these are example of public sector enterprises. SBI, FCI, LIC. So these are example of public sector enterprises. So the main discrimination between the private sector enterprises and the public sector enterprises, the main purpose of private sector enterprises is to earn more and more profit, and the public sector enterprises is to earn is to do social welfare. Clear? So now the features of public sector enterprises: the capital will be contributed by central or state or both the government. Public welfare or social welfare is the main objectives. And management and control, because these are the enterprises of government, so management and control are in the hands of government, and these are accountable to the public. Example, as I have already told you, SBI, PNB, GAIL, ONGC, LIC, these are example of public sector enterprises. In the second unit we have already studied about the form of private sector enterprises, which were sole proprietorship, joint Hindu family business, cooperative society, uh, joint stock company, partnership. So these were the forms of private sector enterprises. And in this unit we will study about the forms of public sector enterprises. There are three types of public sector enterprises. First is departmental undertaking, the second is statutory corporation, also known as public corporation, and the third is government company. So we will study about the departmental undertaking, statutory corporation and government company. So these are the three forms of public sector enterprises: departmental undertaking, statutory corporation and government company. So let's start with the departmental undertaking. Departmental undertaking, this is the oldest form of public sector enterprises. These are established as department of the ministry. the whole work of the country is divided into the different departments, and there are different ministry of each department, and they are fully under the control of specific minister or respective minister, and these are financed, managed and controlled by either central government or state government, like Indian Railway, Post and Telegraph departments, defense. So these are example of departmental undertaking. This is the oldest and traditional form of departmental undertaking. There will be different department of government, and each will be under the control of specific ministry, like Indian Railway is under the railway minister. Clear? So this is the meaning of departmental undertaking. Now the features of departmental undertaking: no separate entity. First of all, these undertaking or these departments will be considered as a government part, because these are under the control of government or under the control of ministry. These are not the company, and these are not established by a specific act or under the company act. So that's why these type of undertaking, it has no separate legal entity. These are considered as a part of government. Finance: these enterprises budget will be passed annually, and finance will be allocated annually. So it is financed by the annual budget allocation of the government, and all its earning goes to the government treasury. Clear? Whenever annual budget will be passed in the parliament, so there will be allocation of money for the railway department, for the defense department. So these undertaking get finance from the government. Accounting and audit: audit means verification of the account. So accounting and auditing will be done according to the government rules. Staffing: the employees of all these undertaking will be considered government employee, and they will be appointed as per the government rules. And these basically IAS officer also do the type of ministry. Accountable: these are accountable to the concerned ministry, and they have to give the answer in the parliament. Now the next, merits and demerits of departmental undertaking. First, easy formation. For the departmental undertaking, there is no need to pass specific act, and there is no need to follow the formalities of company act. That's why it is easy to form. Effective control: why there will be effective control? Because these are under the direct control of government, so there will be effective controlling of the government on these department, because they have to give answer to the public through the parliament. Optimum utilization of funds are provided by the government, and these funds will be used for the public welfare, and there will be proper auditing and verification of the account. If there is any scam, so it will be highlighted. So each and every government, they don't want to come in the limelight of scam, so that's why there will be proper utilization of funds. Accountability means answerability. There is a answerability to the public through the parliament. Suppose if there is a accident in a railway, so they have to give the answer in the parliament, and they have to give the answer to the public. So they are answerable to the government, they are answerable to the public. Public revenue: the revenue or money from the sale of the services or product, and this revenue directly goes to the government treasury, so it's a source of income for the. Secrecy: these types of departmental undertaking highly recommended where secrecy is required, like defense. Next is demerits of the departmental undertaking. The first is inflexibility, means rigidity, because whenever there will be changes in the plan and policies, they have to take permission from the government. Whenever they have to approve any project, So there will be lots of paperwork and it takes lots of time whenever they have to get approval from the government, because it's a proper chain. They have to take permission through the proper channel of communication, so it takes lots of time and they have to take approval of the specific ministry. That's why there is a lack of flexibility कि changes cannot be easily made. Lack of motivation. Employees of these departmental undertaking are considered civil servant and they are permanent on the job and they will get fixed salary. Except salary, they are not going to get part in the profit, and whether they are doing work or not, they will get salary. So there is a lack of motivation among the employees of the departmental undertaking. That's why efficiency doesn't improve. Lack of financial autonomy. Budget will be passed and the allocation of funds will be decided in the budget, and there will be political interference. So financially decision, they don't have freedom whenever it comes to the financial decision, because there is a allocation of huge money, and these allocation of money will be decided by the government and it's always influenced by the political interference. Next is inefficient management. Employees of these departmental undertaking are not expertise. They don't do the effort to increase their skill because they know that they are permanent on the job, they are getting fixed salary, and they are not going to get extra if there is a huge profits. So that's why there is a inefficient management. They don't take initiative and they are not expertise in the field of management. That's why there is a inefficiency in management. Red tapeism and bureaucracy. There is a lots of paperwork, there is a lots of formalities, there is a corruption also in all the government sector unit or departmental undertaking. Now suitability of departmental undertaking, where full government is needed and where the secrecy is very important, such as defense. Now the next form of public sector enterprises is statutory corporation or public corporation. Statutory corporation or public corporation will be established under a special act which is passed in the parliament or state legislative assembly. Each and everything about the corporation, objective, power, functions are clearly defined in the special act, like LIC, Unit Trust of India, SBI. So all these are established under a special act and they have to do work according to the special act, because each and everything will be mentioned in that special act. The objectives, power, functions, operations will be defined in the special act. Now features of the public corporation or statutory corporation. It is created by an act of parliament or state legislature. The power, objective and the limitation of public corporation will be decided only in the act, and it operates under total control of state or central government. Now the next feature is it is managed by the board of director, and these boards of directors are nominated by the government. Board of director like the joint stock company. The main motive of public corporation is also public service. The accounts of public corporation are generally audited by the controller and auditor general.